So I just thought I'd show you how to handle naturally curly hair. Let our natural curls flow. So let's take out the towel. So I have naturally curly hair, and I don't really wear it in my natural curls that often, mainly when I'm on holiday. So I'm going to show you what I do when I do leave it in the natural curls and leave it to dry naturally as well. Now this may seem like a lot of product to put on, but naturally curly hair needs this nourishment because it has a tendency to be more on the drier side. So I've got my leave-in conditioner, and I'm going to pop 2 pumps of my leave-in conditioner. This is the leave-in conditioner by Monat, and Monat is all naturally sourced ingredients, botanically sourced ingredients, and it's also vegan certified products as well. So I've just run my fingers through there, and then I've got my wide tooth comb, and I'm just gonna go through that. Now I know some people with very naturally curly hair don't actually comb through their hair, but I would advise just when it is soaking wet and you've got your conditioner on, just give that a comb through just to smooth any bits down. If you've got very curly hair, I'd probably advise this sort of comb to use rather than a flat wide tooth comb. So that's my leave-in conditioner, and I'm just going to pop on the Rejuvenate oil as well. And you will have seen me use this on dry hair, and I'm just going to use it on wet hair. Now this is the light version, so my hair can take more of the light version because this is particularly for more finer, more greasier hair types. So I'm going to pop on about 4 drops. Can put on less, but I tend to find it does give that more nourishment, especially with it being the finer one. I'm just going to scrunch through the ends there. It's mainly the ends of the hair that will feel the driest, because the oil mimics our natural hair oil, and we've already got the natural oils through the top there anyway, and it's the ends that need that nourishment coming down. So that's all my oil in there. And then what I go for is my curl cream. I've only got a little bit left of this, so I'm just going to squeeze it out. Oops. So just a little bit on there. It's probably a little bit too much, but if you have got thicker hair types than me, that would probably be about the amount. So again, just then going through, and I'm sort of scrunching it through the ends because I've done my smoothing with the curls with the leave-in conditioner, and I did smooth through a little bit with the Rejuvenate oil as well, and I just want to scrunch this through now. So that's my hair basically ready now to dry natural, and you don't want to touch that while it is drying natural, because the second you do and it's not quite dry yet, that's when you start to get the frizz to the curl. So leave that to dry naturally. There is one more product that you can put on, which I don't tend to, and that is the gel. Now the gel, you get more of that crispier curl look, which is great for that really springy curly hair type. So I'd recommend the gel in the Monat brand to get that sculpted curl going on. But I'm not going to do that on my hair, because my hair, I prefer that more looser, like beach curl going on with it. Hello, so I'm back. I thought I'd do a little video on what my hair looks like dry when it's been leaving to dry natural for since I washed it. You want to make sure it is, and you'll be able to see and tell that if it doesn't feel damp anywhere at all, you know, especially at the roots. because that's the longest part to dry as well. And then it's done, and that's when you can start touching it without the risk of it going frizzy. So when it is dry, what I then like to do is work some products through. I like to do the oil, and I tend to just do the oil most of the time. And this is the Rejuveneek oil again, just a couple of drops when the hair's dry, you don't need a lot. Rub it in my hands, and then I'm just sort of going over the hair. I'm not running my fingers through it, just going over the top layers of the hair. And that's just smoothing any bits down. And this is because I would quite like the smoother look as well with the curl. And then you can just then leave it as that, and you just run that little bit of oil through it to give it that extra nourishment. Or you can also apply the sculpting paste. I'm going to smooth down the little frizzy bits that you might have. Like, I get a little bit of frizziness a little bit through the top because of new hair growth, which most people do, and it's just going to sharpen up the definition of the curl as well. I'll show you what I do. So again, and I'm just going to take smaller sections to just run that through, just sweeping that down. Okay, I'm not pressing my hand too hard. So that's one side. And get near the top as well. And those little bits. I'll just do one big scrunch as well. So you might feel like you're going to be smoothing and straightening out the curls, but you're not. Once the curls have dried in their shape, they're not really going anywhere unless you brush them out. And then another little thing you could do is, if you do want them a little bit more relaxed than scrunched up, is I do also separate. And that's by running my fingers through it a little. And it really has to be bone dry to be able to do all this, because if you do touch your hair and start messing with it when it's not quite dry, and that's when it does fully dry, that's when you get the frizz. So what I was trying to do there was just trying to smooth out any really corkscrewy bits of hair. And if you did want to encourage the corkscrew curl, what you could do instead of combing through was to go around the individual bits of your hair, and you're twisting it round, so you're encouraging that curl, and that's another way of doing it. So I'm gonna now leave this. This is done for the day. This is my look for today. Okay, so I'm back with a video on how to show you what to do to revamp your curls the next day after you've left them to dry the previous day. So instead of washing your hair again, you don't need to do that. Just simply wet your hair. So I'm gonna let my hair down and show you reveal the morning after. As you can see, they've gone a bit flat, especially this side. This is the side I lie on predominantly, and there's less hair over that side. So, and what I'm going to do is re-wet my curls and then use some products to revamp the curls for the day again. So just wait there while I just re-wet my hair. So I've re-wet my curls to revamp them for the next day. So they went a bit flat, and now by just re-wetting them, the curl is coming back naturally. I haven't bothered with the roots, wetting them, because I'm not too fussed about getting any extra volume or anything. It's just the mid-length ones that I've re-wet. And you can do that by running your hands under the water and going through lightly with your fingers, or even the shower head, if you're not bothered about getting the roots. or a water spray. So whatever method you use, just to re-wet all the hair. And then I'm going to just reapply some more of my oil. Now I'm not going to use a lot because it's already got the oil still in there, so just 2 drops of this is going to be enough for me. And so just gliding through just the ends, just to give them that extra nourishment again. And then I'm going to get the Curl Refresher spray by Monat, and this is great just to then spray through, just to refresh those curls. So a nice texturising spray. I'm just giving that a really good spray all over, and I'm not going to touch that too much now, because again, the more you touch your hair when it's wet and its natural curls, the more tendency it has to go frizzy. So I'm just going to let that dry now again, which shouldn't take as long as yesterday when it was freshly washed, because we have just lightly gone over to wet it. But if you were to use the shower head to wash your hair, it will take that little bit longer. Once it's dry, I may want to clip it back. So again, when it's dry, if I want to create some shape at the front, sometimes what I do is I'll pop a little clip in there just to hide that bit, because sometimes that bit goes a bit too flat for me the next day, so it's nice to just get that out of the way. And then again, going over to create a little bit of shape. I would do this more so when it's dried off a bit, but it's okay, it's not too bad if you're wanting it to dry in this position to do it now, but again, minimal touching. So that's a look that I could go for. Or if you have, you can do this with Kirby grips as well, but it's really easy if you've got one of these little crocodile clips, and then you can just gather that top section of your hair. It's probably better when it's dry, but I've just got that little bit, and I'll probably just loosen that bit down there. And just got that to clip in there. So I've just got that little bit clipped back. And that's another go-to look to get the top layer in out of your way. Okay, hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, and then do place in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.